so that dad has to basically, it's all inclusive in the calculations that dad's paying a portion of that health insurance cost. Any questions so far? Anybody? No questions? Okay, that's fine. So the other thing that gets kind of worked out in these cases is besides the base child support, that's what we call it, base, so the base number that one parent's giving to the other parent every month. The other thing to get worked out and all of that is all the extra stuff, because kids are expensive. So the child support can go towards keeping the lights on in the house, putting food in the fridge, putting gas in the car. I can't stand it when I get parents that are asking me like, well, where's child support going to? You know, she's just using it at whatever store. You're not going to get an accounting. It's not realistic. If there's extreme situations or in extreme cases, you can ask for an accounting, but that's very rare. Parents are able to use the child support for those types of things, gas, groceries. It's not necessarily going towards, you know, specific child related issues or expenses, because that's what it takes to raise kids. But all the other things, right? Like daycare, childcare, tuition, uncovered medical costs, extracurricular activities, all those extra things that will get figured out in the course of the paternity action when you're dealing with the finances. And usually it's based on a pro rata share. So if the parents' incomes are pretty comparable, usually they're going to split the costs, those extra costs 50-50. And it'll be like, you know, one parent having to go to the other parent saying, okay, I signed him up for soccer, you owe me your half. And then dad has to reimburse, and or vice versa. In some cases, in a lot of cases, where the income levels are comparable or pretty equal, let's say mom is making 70% of the combined income between mom and dad, then mom's going to be paying 70% of those extracurricular activities or tuition or whatever it is, and dad will pay 30%. So there's that pro rata split that we use a lot. I want to say too that, you know, a lot of these things that I'm pointing out, this is when the judge hears these issues, when you go before the judge, they have to work within a box. That's what I like to call it, right? Like a legal box. They can't step outside of that box. They don't really get creative. And these cases, you're one of thousands. And the judges want to move these along. So it is to your benefit and your children's benefit to try to work out your issues. And for that, you would talk to each other, use your lawyers, go to mediation, and try to come up with a compromise and a settlement so that you know what you're getting. My staff is out there laughing like they don't even think I'm in here doing so when you're trying to settle the issues, you have the ability to be creative and kind of work outside of that legal box. So what a judge is kind of restricted to do, you guys as the parents working out an agreement, you're not so restricted. You can get creative. And the other great thing about it is, you know what you're getting yourself into. You know what your timeshare is going to be. You can think about it ahead of time, plan it out. You know what your child support is going to be or what those financial issues are going to look like. When you go in front of the judge, you're just putting your best foot forward. You're throwing it all out there, hoping for, you know, a ruling in your favor. And the judge will say, okay, thank you all so much for coming. Have a great day. I'll get you an order in a couple of weeks. And you read the order, and that's what it is, whether you like it or not. So that's my 2 cents on trying to settle your issues too, which is always better than going in front of the judge. I think that's everything I wanted to cover in terms of paternity issues and father's rights, because again, I think that it's so important for fathers especially to understand that you are not automatically given rights just because you have a child with somebody if you're not married. You basically have no rights. And that's, I think, the biggest takeaway from today for whether you're the mom or you're the dad is the dad does not have any rights when you have a child outside of a marriage. You have to have the paternity established, and then you have to also have those specific rights set out for the parenting plan and things like that. I'll hang around for a couple of seconds, another minute, if anybody has a question. Thank you guys so much for joining and for showing up. I appreciate it. And we did record this. I'm sure my marketing team will get this saved and put out there. So if you have any information you want to listen to again, we'll have that available. You can always feel free to email me, Taryn, Taryn at SinatraLegal.com, and Sinatra like the singer Frank. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you at the next webinar.